Hello and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, today we are taking a look at what is happening in the election states, especially in the state of Uttar Pradesh, because that is really one of the most crucial states that's going to the polls. To begin with, I would also like to figure out as to what happened in Punjab, whether that will have an impact in Uttar Pradesh or not, because BJP doesn't have too many stakes in Punjab, but it does have a whole lot going for it in Uttar Pradesh. So this threat to the Prime Minister's life, the national security issue, will that have an implication in other states also? Joining me on the roundtable today is Radhika Ramaseshan. She is a political commentator and a columnist and consulting editor with the Business Standard. I have Dr. Mr. Sanjay Kumar. He's a professor at CSDS and a psephologist. Sanjay ji, first let's just the issue of what happened in Punjab. Will that have a will that have a political impact? It has to. Anything to do with such importance has to have a political fallout. Will that affect the polling in Uttar Pradesh also?
See, when you say will it affect the polling, I don't think it will affect the turnout because that is what
Not
we mean
turnout.
by
What I mean
polling.
is the
Yeah,
votes.
yeah. About the votes. See, it's very difficult to figure out when people reach the polling station when they are about to press the button whether this issue will be on their will be on the top of their mind or not. I doubt that this is an issue which is going to determine voting preferences of the voters. But what is happening is that by whatever has happened in Punjab, BJP has been able to create an atmosphere, a kind of a perception that look, politics has become so low, and they're just trying to charge the opposition leaders that they are going so low in this politics, and they're just even not they are not even caring for the security of the prime minister. So they're trying to play it with Congress versus BJP versus other parties. So that narrative they are able to build, and with that narrative they are able to convince some section of people that this is not the way politics should be done. Prime Minister security should be on the top of the agenda of all political parties. So that narrative, building that narrative that these political parties are going so low that they are after the life of the prime minister. If they are not able to defeat them by votes, this is what they want to indulge in. That kind of a narrative they are able to build.
Adhika, your first take on the Punjab fallout, then we'll talk about UP.
Yeah. I think the BJP is crafting the narrative quite cleverly. Yesterday, almost all their leaders turned up at various temples to offer pujas for Modi. So, the atmospherics are appropriate, I think, to begin with. Now, they are linking it to two circumstances. One is Punjab and the farmers' agitation, very tangentially. They're not mentioning the farmers. But if you talk about Punjab, Punjab is equal to farmers' agitation at the moment. And the fact that it's a border state, Pakistan is next door, Pakistan has an interest, it's invested, and so on. So this combination has kind of bolstered the BJP's narrative. Now, I traveled for a bit in Uttar Pradesh some time back. And if you ask me to list the 4 or 5 factors that are weighing on voters' minds, I would say on top of the charts is certainly Modi, followed by BJP, followed by welfareism and Hindutva on almost an equal footing. And last comes Yogi. That was a bit of a surprise that Yogi is not such a factor. But this Akhilesh Yadav's yatras, which have been drawing huge crowds. I mean, in that brutal winter, people are waiting to hear out Akhilesh. So that also means something. I mean, that's not some kind of empty messaging. So it looks like the contest might be closer than what the BJP imagined. It's bipolar. So it's probably closer than what the BJP imagined. So this unfortunate incident in Punjab, it shouldn't have happened, but it happened. Obviously, BJP has decided to extract the maximum political mileage, like it tends to from such episodes, and try and use it to its advantage and to build up Modi. From the perception of building up Modi, it is certainly going to be a big add-on, I think, if you ask me. It might become the pivotal factor around which Modi is built up in Uttar Pradesh. Sorry, because the UP elections from the BJP's perspective are being fought on Modi's charisma, Modi's personality, and so on.
And also, I would like to welcome Badri Narayan, political analyst, to the conversation. Badri Narayan जी, हमने सबसे पहले यूपी में चर्चा हो रही है, but I wanted to ask you कि पंजाब में जो हुआ प्राइम मिनिस्टर के सिक्योरिटी को लेकर, will that have an impact in उत्तर प्रदेश? Because पंजाब में तो बीजेपी के स्टेक्स कम ही हैं, वहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत होगा असर, लेकिन in UP will it have an impact? What do you think?
I think the UP election, this event can influence the entire process of the making of election, because BJP is very good in making a strategy of आपदा में अवसर, no, मतलब difficult situation को भी they are able to use it in their favor. The way chief ministers of various states started talking about it, puja started happening in the temples, and the various local cadres in Uttar Pradesh, they have started a kind of campaign centered around these incidents. So I think these incidents may create influence in UP election at the level of campaign, no? At the level of campaign. At the level of real impact, it's very difficult to say. But it will create a kind of cohesive mobilization opportunity. It will give an issue and agenda to BJP to create a cohesive mobilization of their followers and supporters and create a sympathy. The sympathy wave is not a right term, but sympathy element, put sympathy element in the entire election campaign, which was missing, which was missing this time in UP election. And so the opposition started build up this Sahanbhuti element about the corona sufferers and all. In the beginning, Congress started doing that. But now this issue has emerged as another space for sympathy, putting a sympathy element in the entire election campaign. And sympathy has its own power.
Very well said. Sanjay, I'd like to take, what they said and also what Radhika has said, the fact that Yogi was not such a, what she found out such an issue as Modi. So now again with this incident, it adds to the Modi aura, one would say, or the Modi poll appeal. So in that sense, now will this become a Modi versus Akhilesh? We were seeing it edging towards that anyway earlier also.
You're right that look how the UP election started. Initially, it looked like as if BJP will contest election in the name of Yogi. But I think BJP started getting the sense that contesting elections in UP only in the name of Yogi is not going to help BJP. They may be on a sticky wicket. So the slogan changed, and now the new slogan which was coined was, if you want Modi to win 2024, it is important to vote for BJP or vote for Yogi in 2022. So the premium is placed on Modi, and if we use the terminology of, say, the cricket, so this BJP is trying to say, BJP needs to, if you want BJP to win the final match in 2024, it is important to help the team or, strengthen the team for the semi-finals, which is taking place now in 2022. So it is true that the entire BJP is trying to put the huge premium on Prime Minister Modi. They know that he is the vote catcher. Yes, Yogi has been able to develop his own stature. He has become far more popular compared to what he was in 2017. But still, I think BJP is not sure that they will be able to win elections only in the name of Yogi. And that is why this, putting Prime Minister Modi forward and this whole incident which took place in Punjab is only going to help BJP in building that narrative. So it is going to add to BJP's electoral strength in the coming days and coming weeks.
Do you agree, Radhika, on the BJP campaign? You were in fact one of the first to tweet that now it is Akhilesh versus Modi instead of Akhilesh versus Yogi. I think you did that in November, if I'm not wrong. I saw your tweet. So this is something that has steadily been building even without the Punjab incident.
Yeah, certainly, Priya. Like I said, I found that Modi was the pivot of the BJP's campaign, the BJP's politics, and in the villages among people. I think before BJP even coined the slogan about 24 and 22, people in the villages, if you spoke to them, the first factor they would mention was definitely Modi. So Modi's credibility is pretty much intact in the rural areas, and that's very important because BJP is not an urban-centered party anymore. I mean, it's penetrated far and wide into the villages. Yes, of course. I mean, they have to keep, bolstering the Modi factor. And I do see now the makings of a very emotive campaign. I mean, welfareism, Ram Mandir, Mathura, Kashi, everything is going to be there. But in the days to come, I think the whole campaign will be themed around Modi, the threat to his life. Of course, they will blame the opposition. I mean, they will probably take the opposition to they will haul the opposition over the coals, though Akhilesh has nothing to do with this. I mean, this is Punjab where the Samajwadi Party doesn't exist. But on a personality to personality, in a personality to personality contest, Modi versus Akhilesh, I don't know if Akhilesh's ranking will rise to that level. I mean, if people see it purely as a state election where they have to vote in the next state government and they see Akhilesh as a better bet than Yogi or any other BJP candidate for that matter, then the Samajwadi Party could have a bit of an advantage. But I do not, at this moment, I do not see that advantage accruing to the Samajwadi Party in the present circumstances.
But in Yogi versus Akhilesh, agar sirf Yogi versus Akhilesh hota, would Akhilesh have had a chance? Now, of course, jaise aapne bhi kaha, it's become Modi has become the crucial
I think I have a bit different opinion. In UP election, there is a no Modi versus Akhilesh. It's a Modi Yogi versus Akhilesh. Because whenever you go in the field, people say Modi Yogi ekke hain. No, Modi Yogi ekke hain. The two images are working together to create influence among both.
Modi ki zarurat padi unhe. It is not Yogi alone.
I tell you, and we talk many people. They clearly say we are with Yogi. No, Yogi is a matter. Yogi matter in UP election. But why they need Modi? Because Yogi अकेले शायद इलेक्शन को नहीं जीत सकते थे. योगी में अकेले वो और यूपी इलेक्शन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इलेक्शन है बीजेपी के लिए. पूरे बीजेपी के फ्यूचर के लिए इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इलेक्शन. अगली सरकार केंद्र के लिए भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इलेक्शन है. इसलिए बीजेपी विल इन्वेस्ट एवरीथिंग. मोदी इज वन सिंबल. अमित शाह ने तो वैसे हर जगह काम किया, यहाँ भी द वे ही इज वर्किंग हो, पूरे ऑर्गेनाइजिंग द थिंग्स एंड ऑल, तो वो सब तो चल रहा है. लेकिन मेरा ये कहना है कि मोदी वर्सेस योगी, मोदी एंड योगी, ये जो कई बार हम लोग देखते हैं कि दोनों में कौन इंपॉर्टेंट है या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है. यूपी इलेक्शन में बोथ आर वर्किंग टुगेदर एज अ लेवल ऑफ इमेज, नो एज अ लेवल ऑफ, मैं पर्सन के रूप में नहीं कह रहा हूँ, इमेज के रूप में कह रहा हूँ. एंड अखिलेश इज वर्किंग नॉट विद एक्सपैंडिंग हिज इमेज. उनके साथ क्या है कि वो इलेक्शन उनका चढ़ गया ना पिछले दिनों, because he formed alliance with various caste-based parties and all. So he is not contesting at the level of image, but he is contesting at the level of narrative. और narrative जो उनका है उसमें एक support मिल रहा है उनको. एंटी बीजेपी जो भी emotions हैं, जो भी भाव हैं, they are being mobilized towards समाजवादी पार्टी. उसका फायदा उनको मिल रहा है. But image की fight में तो they are far ahead. BJP is far ahead because अखिलेश, अगर मुलायम सिंह जीवित होते तो शायद मुलायम अखिलेश टुगेदर may have create a good impact, but Akhilesh is alone in this election at the level of image.
तो जीवित है ना अभी भी.
politically जीवित नहीं है, एक्टिव नहीं है,
politically एक्टिव नहीं है. इलेक्शन में दिखते अगर वो रैलियों में दोनों साथ, और तो शायद कोई दूसरा भी, क्योंकि विजुअल है जिस सोन इम्पैक्ट, नो दोनों साथ अगर मंच पे दिखते और वो, तो शायद उसका दूसरा इम्पैक्ट होता. बट दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग.
विजुअल तो
इवन शिवपाल वाले चीज भी क्लियर नहीं है. शिवपाल इज आल्सो इमेज इन सर्टेन एरिया ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश. बट तो अखिलेश चाहे कॉन्शियसली और अनकॉन्शियसली by a strategy, he is alone in this election. He kept alone himself in this election.
नहीं, उसी वजह से एक विजुअल सर्कुलेट हो रहा है जहां अखिलेश गए अपने फादर के पास, उनका पाउंच हुआ, उनका ब्लेसिंग्स लिया. वो काफी वायरल हुआ है वो समाजवादी पार्टी के नेटवर्क में. तो मेरे ख्याल में इसीलिए उन्होंने, अभी भी मुलायम सिंह यादव का एक स्टेचर है कुछ वर्गों में, मैं नहीं कह रही हूँ पैन उत्तर प्रदेश, बट कुछ सेक्शंस में, तो मेरे ख्याल में उसी को एड्रेस करने के लिए ये विजुअल को जारी किया है. बड़े पैमाने.
Sanjay ji, before the break we talked about the Yogi campaign, but now about the Akhilesh campaign. We've seen the crowds, we've seen his alliances are very well placed and very well done. I met him in September and he told me, अगर मुझे आधा vote हर caste से मिल जाए, literally 0.5% more vote, I will be able to beat the BJP. Except of course, he think Thakurs will not vote for me. So it's a very simple way of putting things, but you see the टक्कर तो हो रही है.
No, certainly there is a close contest between Akhilesh Yadav and BJP on the other side. And what we were discussing before the break, yes, the advantage BJP has is that huge army of campaigners. So we can keep taking names, and there's a long list of people who are campaigning in favor of BJP. But on the other side, Akhilesh Yadav is alone, even if he has been able to put up a good coalition. But in terms of if we look at the various leaders of the coalition partner, it is only Rajbhar who is campaigning along with Akhilesh Yadav, and his face is also recognized or known in the limited part of UP. So there's a lot of burden on Akhilesh Yadav. He has to campaign alone in the entire state. He has to look after the anxieties and the happiness within the party when it comes to ticket distribution. So there is a huge burden on Akhilesh Yadav has to take on his shoulder while leading the campaign. But I do agree that with the kind of coalition he has been able to put up, he has brought a Samajwadi Party in a very close contest. And now I would not hesitate to say that it is heading for a very close contest. A few weeks ago, I used to say that it is a close contest, but BJP is ahead with a sizable margin. I don't see that happening now. Yes, still, I think BJP is ahead, but the margin the gap between BJP and Samajwadi Party seems to have narrowed down during last couple of weeks.
Anything more to add on the Samajwadi Party campaign? How do you see it happening? And this, of course, the alliance with Jayant Chaudhary, which is pretty significant in Western UP.
It's for me?
Yeah, for you.
Yeah. The alliance with Jayant Chaudhary is very significant, and we just have to see how it plays on the ground, how the Jats eventually vote, because every time in the past few elections, they complain, they grumble about the BJP, but ultimately in the name of Hindutva, Jats go and vote the BJP. Now, we have to see whether memories of the Muzaffarnagar riots have receded into the background. Of course, I wouldn't put it past the BJP to refresh the memories and, make the Jats vote as Hindus rather than Jats. But it's an alliance with a lot of potential, and of course, region specific. Just like the alliance with Rajbhar is also region specific, but has potential. So Akhilesh has definitely struck some smart alliances. But let's not forget, at the end of the day, he's up against a mega resource-rich party, a leviathan like the BJP, which has its machinery all over. And I think the main drawback with Akhilesh is that he probably stirred himself a little too late. In the initial like Tejasvi. In the initial years of this, unlike Mulayam Singh, the first time I remember the BJP came to power in Uttar Pradesh in 91, Mulayam Singh put Kalyan Singh's government on notice from day one virtually. And it was a small party then, the Samajwadi Party. But Akhilesh was indifferent for 3 years or so and has now kind of woken up. So we have to see how the organizational machinery works on the ground. The Samajwadi Party has an organization. To say that it doesn't have would be a mistake. And maybe Sanjay is right that each day the contest is inching closer and closer. But that would depend on a lot of factors. Now the BJP is going to unleash a very emotive campaign. How is Akhilesh going to answer that campaign? He's focused on bread butter issues, no doubt. He's tiptoeing very carefully on Hindutva. He's not entering that terrain. So we just have to see how it plays out.
पहले बीजेपी का campaign was मंदिर. अभी भी उन्होंने they tried a bit to say Kashi, Mathura, but now it seems Modi has overtaken Mandir. So is Modi more emotive than Mandir? Now it's going to be Modi centric totally.
I think election is moving at various levels. BJP campaign. And you see the Hindutva is there. Hindutva is the central core of the election mobilization. But Modi is a mega narrative of BJP election in Uttar Pradesh, you can say. So other narratives are supporting or supplementing each other, supplementing in the making of in the placing the Modi image in that context. So Hindutva is there, development discourse is there, Mandir, Hindutva in a new narrative. Hindutva में अब क्या है, आस्था को महत्व देना, जो temples, mega temples, no, mega वो उसको एक और तरह से कहने की कोशिश, the same thing but telling in a different way. That is happening in UP election. So Modi is really is very important, is central of the entire election campaign. But other narratives are also there, and they are supporting. That's why BJP in advantage. BJP has multiple narratives to tell, and other parties has a very narrow space of creating narratives. No, तो उसका एक polarizational impact होता है. जैसे मान लीजिए आपने एक संतोष को पोलराइज कर लिया, तो उसका एक नैरेटिव होता है, उसका एक फायदा होता है. बट हियर जब पार्टी ने पावर, इज ए वेरी डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन, तो उसको बहुत तरह के ऑल्टरनेटिव नैरेटिव खड़े करने होते हैं. बीजेपी इज वेरी वेरी गुड इन दैट, इन क्रिएटिंग नैरेटिव्स, एंड दे हैव मशीनरीज, दे हैव cadres, they have everything to rebuild the narrative. मीडिया के बारे में मैं नहीं कहूंगा, I'll not say about media.
That is kind of you. Sanjay ji, is it worth talking about Owaisi and the Congress? They are just spoilers. कि उनके है कोई chances of a few seats?
No, both of them are spoilers in this election. I think if I have to give a number, I think Congress is not going to reach the double figure, neither with regard to percentage of votes, nor with regard to the number of seats. They had 6% vote in the last assembly election. I think they are going to be more or less at the same place, 5, 6, 7% votes, winning maybe a few seats here and there. But those victories should be regarded as victories of the leaders or the candidates who would be an important candidate in that locality, but not the victory of Congress. So Congress is really will play a role of the spoiler. I think the Congress is lying so low that they won't. It would be very difficult to even think of them as a spoiler. They're lying very low in these elections. With regard to Owaisi, I think he's trying hard to get some Muslim vote, get some attraction, win a couple of seats to stake claim for the future election. I doubt that he is going to get the kind of attraction he is expecting among the Muslim voters, because this is a do and die battle for Samajwadi Party. And also Samajwadi Party knows very well that if they need to do well in this election, they need to mobilize the Muslim vote. For the Muslim voters also, given the kind of social upheaval happening in various places, they know that it is important for them. If Samajwadi Party wins election, they will have some respite in the UP. So I think they will rally behind Samajwadi Party. So in nutshell, I don't think Owaisi making a huge impact or even playing a role of a spoiler. He might play a role of a spoiler in few constituencies, and Congress will play the same kind of a role.
In fact, Radhika, when I spoke to Akhilesh about Owaisi, he's saying वो तो सिर्फ 100 seats में लड़ रहा है. This was, of course, in September. So even the Muslim voter knows that he's not very serious. He's just there to, be a spoiler only.
Yeah, I mean, nobody took Owaisi very seriously in Bihar, but he did make an impact in the Simhanchal region and he won 5 seats. However, I'm not equating Bihar with Uttar Pradesh. I mean, circumstances were different. In UP, you had Muslim-specific parties like Peace Party. There was even a party called Justice Party, which fought in various elections in the past and made absolutely no impact. So similarly, I agree 100% with Sanjay. Neither Congress nor Owaisi's party is going to gain too much traction or be much of a spoiler, much as Congress set out to be, by the way. I mean, there was a point when Priyanka Gandhi started attacking the Samajwadi Party also in a big way. The party I would look at is, of course, the BSP, which is lying so low that you wonder what on earth is Mayawati up to. But of course, Mayawati is going to come out. She will probably campaign. At the moment, it's only Satish Mishra who's doing the work for her. And from all accounts, he's not made any impact among the Brahmins, who they targeted very consciously. In fact, even Akhilesh targeted the Brahmins. But as far as I gather, Brahmins are going to remain largely with the BJP, except where a strong candidate is put up by the Samajwadi Party or maybe even the BSP. But the BSP is the party I would look at from the perspective of the Dalit votes, the Jatav votes. Where are they going? If they don't see Mayawati as a serious player, where are they going to transfer the votes? They have gone to the BJP in the past, mind you, 2014, 2017, 2019 as well. So is the BJP going to take away the Dalit votes like before, or will they vote Samajwadi Party, or will they remain with Mayawati? I think they will probably, the Jatavs at least, will probably remain with Mayawati.
But Narayanji, that's a good question. On Mayawati, where do you see the vote? How will she play out?
I think I also believe that still the third side of UP election is alive, and that is the BSP. और BSP को हम लोग actually I don't know how this narrative will evolve, that this is a fight between BJP and SP. ये अभी से नहीं, ये काफी पहले से शुरू हुआ है, and the BSP को तो शुरू से ही उसमें डाला नहीं गया, उसमें लाया नहीं गया. But BSP का कार्डर का जो बेस वोट है उसमें जाटो, एज राधिका इज राइटली सेड, दैट जाटो एक बड़ी संख्या में अभी भी बीएसपी के साथ है, मायावती के साथ है. and also among others Dalit caste, 5-6 Dalit caste, Pasi, Dhobi, Kori, you can find majority of votes will go towards Mayawati in these elections, although there are votes of the SP and BJP also in those communities, but BSP का भी अपना शेयर उसमें है. ऐसा नहीं है कि BSP सिर्फ जाटो सेंट्रिक वोट इस बार मिलेगा उनको, लेकिन उसके बाद जो 50 दलित जातियां हैं उनमें BSP नहीं है. That's another story. But BSP may be able to get, if BSP will succeed to add other castes with their base vote, then they will perform good. And then they can create a miracle in some of the constituencies. But if they fail in doing that, तब मुझे लगता है मुश्किल होगा. And Radhika is right that Mayawati had a plan to come out for election campaign. But अभी तो कोरोना से जो change आएगा उसका impact भी देखना होगा, how BSP is going to respond to that. But and they are focusing on a reserve seat this time. No? सारे रिजर्व सीट पर BSP is working very hard to get those seats. अगर वहां से अच्छी सीट्स निकाल लेते हैं ये तो मुझे लगता है that will be.
Quickly, I just have to end, but I didn't take your views on BSP, Sanjay ji. Quickly, then we'll end the show.
No, I don't think BSP is going to do any miracle in these elections. BSP's stocks are lying very low. People are not taking BSP very seriously because the whole UP election is headed for a bipolar contest. People don't want to waste their vote. So BSP will get, their core supporters will vote for BSP, the Jatavs and other Dalits. But besides these two communities, I don't think BSP is able to attract any votes.
On that note, thank you. This is a very comprehensive overview on the UP elections, especially at a time when we're expecting the dates to be announced anytime soon also. Thank you all of you for joining me in this conversation, and thank you for watching this show.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.